Welcome to the Midway region. We're going to continue our series of looking through the different Pokemon types, and today we're going to be looking at the Fire type. This one was a bit hard. Unlike some of the other types, Fire doesn't generally have a whole lot to pick from. Like Grass type, you can use any old plant, or Water, it can be anything that lives in the water, really. But I think the Fire types you see in the video will be very fitting for the Midway region. So, let's take a look. Before we get started, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? Most of the people watching this video aren't subscribed yet. Plus, who doesn't want more Midway Pokemon? To start us off, this is Gickit, Fire and Poison type. Gickit has a pore on its back that secretes a poisonous wax-like substance. This wax is also used by Gickit to escape their enemies and to keep their skin moist when they're out of the water. People will get a tank full of Gickit together because when in a group, they'll look like a lava lamp. And after a bit of training, Gickit evolves into Gickisplat. This Pokemon has mastered the use of its sticky wax-like poison and will use it to stick opponents in place. It learns its own signature move called Melt Pool, a poison-type move that only does 60 damage, but will lower the opponent's speed every time it's used. However, using a Fire-type move or being burned will reset or not lower your speed. While using this move, Gickisplat creates a collection of molten wax that it tosses at the opponent, which will then harden and stick in place. On the early routes of Midway, you can find the Pokemon Ruddex. If you want to learn more about Ruddex, you should go watch the video about Midway Zone Route 1. Ruddex is just a pure flying type. However, after a bit of training, Ruddex evolves into Brazex, now a fire type. It can use the feathers that grow from its big hot belly to eject flames, which allow it to enhance its aerial movement. Just like Ruddex, Brazex stays in the Midway region all year long, as it can keep warm with its fire type abilities. In Midway, there are actually two fire types that are seen as essential to the culture of the Midway region. First is Flame, the fried Pokemon, and a fire and water type. Flame can be found in most bodies of water and are known to be rather aggressive. They're often seen heating up the water around them to boil their prey, and if that's not enough, they will leap into the air and land on their side, burning their opponents into submission. Its signature ability is Fried Foe, giving it a 30% chance to burn with every physical attack it uses. The other Pokemon that is seen as essential is Bitsimmer, the grilled Pokemon. Bitsimmer loves to eat old, rusted metal, seems to fuel their fire, and makes the shell stronger and more resilient. Although, that is not entirely true. They don't just love to eat metal, they just love to eat. And if trained right, they can be taught to drop the food out of their mouths after it is perfectly cooked. Its signature ability, Pyro Palate, makes it so any bite/fang move will burn the opponent. Here is the Pokemon Charcadet. In the Paldea region, you can find the Malicious Armor or the Auspicious Armor, which will evolve into either Ceruledge or Armarouge respectively. However, in the Midway region, you could also find Charcadet, but instead, you will find the Judicious Armor or the Pernicious Armor. Giving a Charcadet the Judicious Armor makes it evolve. This is Alabaster, a fire and flying type. The armor, perhaps forgotten from ancient times, has granted Alabaster great and powerful wings to take on the skies above and rain down burning feathers like arrows upon those whom it believes are unworthy. The armor was called Blessed by the person who gave it to you. Giving a Charcadet the Pernicious Armor makes it evolve. This is Demomonix, a fire and rock type. The armor, which seems to have been forgotten to time, has granted Demomonix the ability to tear through the earth and prefers to attack from underneath. It enjoys causing chaos, and it is believed that the original owner of the armor wished to take down the foundation of society at the time. The armor was said to come from the underworld by the person who gave it to you. So which would you choose, Alabaster or Demomonix? Or maybe both? Let me know in the comments, as well as any other Pokemon you might want to see in the Midway region. A popular but rare Pokemon to find in Midway is Campfriar. a fire and grass type. Campfriar are desired partners for those who enjoy the wilderness, and since they can generate an intense heat, you can actually use the top of its flat head to cook food, though Campfriar are rather rare, since they can only be found at one time in the year. There are theories that Campfriar turns into a regular bush during the other seasons, but come fall, you'll find yourself with a Campfriar. Its signature ability, Al Dente, will double the effectiveness of any berry used by it or its allies while on the field. But that's not all. For reasons still unknown to science, certain locations in Midwe give off a special energy, which can transform Pokemon compatible with said energy into 2 new forms, since dubbed urban and rural forms. In this occasion, since Campfriar is a dual-type Pokemon and compatible with said energy, it will split its typing between the forms, unlike a monotype Pokemon, which will usually gain a new type for each form. Bringing a Campfriar to Gates Village in the urban zone will allow it to change. This is Urban Campfriar, a pure grass type. People think that this form has developed with the energy found in Gates Village to become more decorative, since it has lost its ability to generate heat. It has to find some way to adapt. Bringing a Campfriar to Spire's stand in the rural zone will allow it to change. This is Rural Campfriar, a pure fire type. Losing the grass typing has caused its body to become something of a living flame. This type of instability makes it act rather chaotic and is known for starting forest fires. It is not recommended to use this form. So now, let's take a look at a particular character found in Midwe. This is the most famous restaurant in Midwe's urban zone, called La Pimenta. This restaurant serves a foreign style of food found far to the south outside of Midwe. The current owner and head chef of the restaurant is this guy. This is Ignacio Roja. And not only is he the owner of La Pimenta, he is the head chef. Look here, this is a glid card, aka a gym leader identification card, meaning Ignacio is Midway's own fire-type gym leader. Like all the gym leaders found in Midwe, they must carry their glid card on them at all times, because it is their duty to battle any trainer at any time. This being said, battle Ignacio when he isn't working, and you'll find yourself with a classic one-on-one gym battle. But battle Ignacio when he is working, and you'll find yourself with a custom battle experience. Let's take a look. Found at the center of La Pimenta's dining space is a battlefield. This is where the gym battle takes place. This battle is oven course, a double battle. Get it? Oven. However, during this battle, you'll find the staff calling out for orders, and the only way to fulfill those orders is by using a certain type of attack. They might call out, "Hey, we got a spicy dish that's almost ready. We need a fire-type move." Or, "We got a customer who's ready for dessert. We need a fairy-type move." Provide the staff with the correct type, and you'll find your Pokemon gets a positive stat boost in a random stat. But use the wrong type, and your Pokemon will get a stat decrease in a random stat. The staff could call out for any of the 18 Pokemon types, so hopefully you're ready. Maybe you'll want to use a water-type move to do more damage, even though the staff just called out, "We got a salad for table 12, we need a grass-type move," even though a grass-type move won't do much damage at all. Do you think you could defeat Ignacio? He does a good job at keeping his restaurant running smooth, while also keeping the dining experience hot and exciting. If you manage to win, you'll find yourself with the Cooked Badge, and you'll be one step closer to fighting Midway's own Pokemon League. Let me know in the comments what other orders the staff might call out for some of the other types, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're down there. Lets me know you want more Midway Pokemon. And keep those running shoes on, trainers.